Questions. What's the most X-Files-like experience you've had in real life? Story 1. And if I told people who know me this, they would just laugh and think I was pulling their leg. When I was a little kid, I could see into the hallway that connected my room to the house. It was a short hallway, maybe 8 feet long. I just happened to wake up for whatever reason, and an orb of light shot down the hallway, literally in a flash. It was so fast, all I could tell was it was an orb of light. At first I thought it was a reflected car headlight or something, but we lived WAAAYYY out in the country and there were no cars in the driveway. Plus there was no way light could reflect back into that hallway. 3 walls of the house are embedded in the hill, very energy efficient. The second was about 8 years ago. I had a job as a security guard in a 100-plus-year-old building. A cop had been shot to death on the stairs 60 years ago, and the stairs are about 6 feet from my watch desk in the center of the middle floor of this building. We were open until midnight each night, and usually no one came in, but the staff sometimes worked late. So when I heard someone walking down the stairs, huge wooden stairwell that terraces and splits to go up another level, I didn't really think anything of it. The footsteps stop at my desk, so I close my shift report and look up. Nothing. No one, no thing, no change, nada. I thought I was hallucinating due to lack of sleep, so I played along with my delirium. I went back to filling out my report. On a lark I said, I have no idea what you're looking to do, but we're both stuck here. If you don't mind, I have a report to fill out, please excuse me. About 10 seconds later, the steps started away from me going back up the stairs. I was terrified, way too scared to actually look back up. But after that, I never had another issue in the building. Weird, PDF or ebook. Story 2. When I was 19 and my best friend was 20, we are nearly 40 now, we were driving back to my house after visiting someone at work. We were on a somewhat busy road. It was getting dark but wasn't quite dark yet. There were street lights and business lights everywhere, so visibility was still great. This road was 3 lanes in each direction and there was a concrete median dividing the traffic. I was in the left lane next to the median, and a traffic light was coming up. I saw a man standing in the median a good way before where the crosswalk for the light would be. It instantly made me nervous. As soon as I thought that, he stepped out to cross the street. My best friend and I both instantly braced for impact as I slammed on my brakes. We went through him. We didn't hit him, and because there was a car to my right, I wasn't able to swerve out of my lane to avoid hitting the man. I looked in my rear view and there wasn't anyone there. I had come to a complete stop and we physically turned around in our seats to see how he had jumped out of the way. There was no one there and no way he could have ran off or hidden anywhere that fast. We both turned toward to each other and almost in sync asked each other, "Did you see that man?" We both saw the same thing. A man couldn't describe his face, but it was a man's form, and both of us remember being confused as to why he was wearing a white robe, and both being terrified that he stepped out in front of us, like he was committing suicide. I had a baby in the back seat. She was about 3 months old. She had been crying during the drive and went silent when we came to a screeching stop, which added to the weirdness of it all. We still bring it up occasionally and neither of us can come up with an explanation for what we saw other than something supernatural. Also, we both saw the white cloth fling across the windshield, like he was hitting it. But there was no impact, nothing. It was like he went through the car. Story 3. Wow, this is the first time I've ever heard of someone having a similar experience. When I was 14, I woke up on Christmas Day with a terrible headache. I went downstairs to get some Tylenol from the medicine cabinet. I got tunnel vision and felt myself passing out. I hit the floor, and when I opened my eyes, I was outside, on the ground, looking up at a soldier in a blue uniform on a horse looking down at me. I pushed myself up to my elbows and saw I was wearing a green old-fashioned dress. The sky was bright blue and the sunlight was almost blinding. The soldier pulled up on the reins of the horse like he was trying to stop it, but there was an urgency of some kind to the situation. The horse kind of circled around me and the man was shouting and gesturing for me to get up. I guess I had fallen off the back of the horse. I pushed myself kind of halfway up and he stretched his hand out to help pull me back up because we needed to get away quickly. As his hand clasped my wrist, I blinked, and I was in the back of an ambulance with a paramedic taking my pulse. Had the flu, blood pressure dropped and I hit my head on the sink on the way down. Dehydration and minor concussion ruined Christmas. I had it happen again, when I was camping in Montana at a festival when I was 20. I took a hit off a joint, and passed out. I guess we can blame the elevation maybe. I kept going in and out of consciousness because when I was out, I was at a desk job in a normal life, but when I woke up, I was surrounded by all these amazing people in a beautiful forest overlooking a picturesque valley with snow-capped mountains in the distance. My brain kept wanting to put me in the desk job, but my body kept physically pulling me out. Both times, the other world seemed so real. Like I belonged there. I've honestly never really viewed reality the same way. Story 4. When I was 12, I spent the night at a friend's house. We were up late chatting, falling asleep, listening to some music, Hotel California, and suddenly the music stopped. A bright blue light shined into the bedroom window, lit the room up, then dissipated. Hotel California resumed like nothing happened. We were frozen, dumbfounded, and freaked out, getting lots of chills and feeling weird. Did you see that? I reluctantly got out of bed to peek outside, nothing there but an empty parking lot by a wooded area. I looked at the clock. It said 2:14. For the next couple years it became somewhat of an urban legend among my friends. We'd stay up until 2:14 at each other's house and dare something to happen like that again. Lots of fun, scaring ourselves, but nothing happened. It just became known as 214, and we'd joke about it whenever we saw that it was 2:14. 2 years later I was at a different friend's house, up late, watching movies in the living room, Hot Dog the movie. It was over, and we shut off the TV and were just chatting like normal, falling asleep. Suddenly, a bright white light shined into the living room window, lighting up the place, then dissipating, just like the blue light from 2 years before. I immediately was struck with fear. Did you see that? My friend replied, yeah. I was filled with dread as I turned over to get a view of the VCR to see what time it was, my body covered in chills with anticipation. It was 2:14. My whole body was covered with shivers, my eyes watering, just freaking out. I already knew I didn't need to get up to look out the window, my friend's backyard is just all woods. Nothing could be back there. Suffice to say, with 2 different witnesses to go along with myself, 2:14 was a confirmed real thing in my life and I've been haunted by it ever since. Nothing like it has happened since, but it sure did color my adolescence and make me intrigued and fascinated by all things paranormal, unexplainable, weird, fantastic, etc. It was no surprise I became a huge X-Files fan. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel.